Jason, today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk.
What did he do this time?
He's done a lot, but today we're going to be talking about Elon Musk because something interesting has come up. And that is that Tesla is so desperate for sales, it started advertising something Elon Musk famously says he hates. Have you heard about this before?
Oh, the fact that he hates advertisements?
Yes. Have you heard
Yeah,
about
I've
that?
heard about that. I mean, a lot of people loved Teslas in the beginning so much that they just made their own.
Yes, a lot of Tesla consumers made their own advertising. Yes, but that's not the case anymore. So the thing is, between bad press about the electric vehicle themselves and the chaotic whims of its CEO Elon Musk, Tesla's stock value has dropped by nearly 30% this year.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different factors that can play into that. Specifically, I think the Chinese market.
The Chinese market is huge on EVs right now. The thing is, too, that Tesla's sales have gone so bad that the company has resorted to advertising, something Elon Musk famously says he can't stand. And a lot of people know this. A lot of people know that he's like, I wouldn't waste money on advertisements right in the beginning when Tesla was launching.
Yeah, I mean, and they've come up with different programs to kind of circumvent having advertisements.
Oh, and we'll talk about that in a minute because what I do want to say is that if you like interesting topics like this, consider subscribing. We put out interesting content daily. We have a library of over 300 videos. And the thing is, subscribing's free. It doesn't cost anything. And it does really help out the channel. So if you like interesting content like this, consider subscribing. So the thing is, despite Musk's dislike for ads, the company spent about $6.4 million on them in the United States in 2023. The Wall Street Journal reported compared to a paltry $175,000 in ad spending in 2022. And Tesla's ads have touted its Model Y on Meta and Google. So he's advertising these things on those websites.
Yeah, I do wonder about this whole thing because the programs or the EVs themselves were able to be advertised by their own merit before. Like, I mean, Teslas for the most part are pretty safe in terms of like crash tests and stuff.
Yeah,
They're usually highly rated.
Yeah, I thought it had one of the highest crash test ratings out there. And the thing is, there was a lot of Tesla super fans who would make ads. I would see ads on YouTube where people would even like transform their own Teslas into trucks before the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a lot of people out there that were really passionate about Teslas, but it seems like the sales have started to stagnate enough where he needs to start spending money for ads. 6.4 doesn't seem like a lot for Tesla, but it is a lot when you compare it to
zero.
To zero, essentially, or even the $175,000 that it did spend in 2022. The thing is, the company has faced competition from buyers who prefer a hybrid vehicle to full EVs, as well as companies offering incentives to switch, such as the BMW's limited time $1,000 reward for customers who trade in their vehicles for its EV.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the issue comes down to consumers unwilling to take an EV right now. The people who want hybrids don't like the idea of going full electric because the technology isn't where they would want it to be, to where like they can recharge like really quickly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I have heard also statements from people that I know that say it's like they would want the security of a hybrid because if there's not an electric charging close by, or if it's full, they want the convenience of being able to get gas. So I think a lot of people share in that sentiment.
Yeah, I think that's what the general sentiment is right now, where the idea of having a hybrid where you don't have to refuel as much at a gas station, because I mean the price of gas is increasing, but with a hybrid you can get way more like fuel economy with that.
Yeah, and you get the best of both worlds because you could go to a charging station and then you could go get gas.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like for certain ones.
For certain ones, yes.
certain ones.
Yes. But the thing is that Musk agreed to advertise in May 2023 after the suggestion came up at a shareholders meeting. The Wall Street Journal reported investors are reportedly losing patience with Tesla's performance and managerial crisis. What they said too is that we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes. And this is what Elon Musk said. An attendee at the Tesla shareholder meeting who suggested advertising to counter perception that it makes impractical sports cars for the wealthy.
I don't think that is the case really, because Model Y and I really don't think that's the case anymore, because the Model S, was very expensive, but like the Model Y with incentives and everything is pretty reasonable. It's like in line with a lot of like hybrids that I've seen where like there's like markups because there's so much in demand.
Yes, and the thing is the model, what is it, the Model 3 too. The Model 3 is like their price point vehicle, and the thing is that I think the perception, like you mentioned, isn't at least that right now. But I do think that they have a bunch of other issues coming up. Like we've mentioned before, it's like they have heavy competition now within the space.
Yeah.
I know, at home here in the U.S. and abroad too, because as we mentioned before, China right now is a big player in the EV space.
And they're selling at a loss.
They are selling their vehicles at a loss, where even Tesla had to cut its own pricing on their vehicles, which made a lot of customers unhappy. But the thing is, like, this whole story revolves around essentially that stockholders or shareholders aren't happy with Tesla right now because they aren't selling the vehicles needed to keep up everyone who has like a Tesla, who wanted a Tesla, currently has one.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, what else are they going to do to keep the stock momentum going?
They need to release something that, like a new update, like new battery or something new that would draw in the old Tesla fans to come back in.
They do full self-driving. They
already
finally put
did.
it out.
They did. They finally released it.
They make it into a taxi.
Oh, make it a taxi. Fair. The one thing I do say about the not advertising, I feel like the Tesla Cybertruck is like the biggest advertisement. Like, most people seem to not like it, but still, like, people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
So that's like, marketing. People are always talking about, the Cybertruck or like Tesla. That's marketing.
It is marketing. You know what? Every time I think about the Cybertruck, I remember the presentation that he did when he broke the window.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's still good. But when you see a Cybertruck out on the road, it is very jarring to see. Yeah. But that itself is like, it's
a
good
conversation
marketing.
Piece.
It is. You're like, hey, look at that Cybertruck over there. Yeah. So I would want to know from our audience what they think about this, what they think about Tesla advertising after Elon Musk famously said that he did not like advertising.
So one last thing is that, as I alluded to before, Tesla used to have like a rewards program.
Oh, it did.
Where if you had your own like code, and if you go and have people use your code when they buy a Tesla, that'll add to your amount of like people that you referred to. And at some point they're like, oh, if you get a certain number of people referred, you get a free Roadster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a crazy reward system.
But I mean, the Roadster doesn't exist, and like,
No,
I don't know if anybody has gotten any free anything from the rewards program. So like, I do wonder if people who did that feel betrayed that they didn't, did all his work promoting this car and getting other people to buy Teslas, and then
it didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, evaporated.
Yeah, I wonder. I know he said he's not selling he's not selling the car for Dogecoin anymore. But what if he does one last Hail Mary and he goes and says that we're doing it again for a limited time? You could trade in your Dogecoin for a Tesla, or at least Bitcoin or something like that. I feel like that would be very on brand with him and generate a good amount of publicity.
A certain number of them.
Yeah, a certain number of them. Yeah. But yes, I would want to know from our audience what they think about this in the comments down below.